Sunday school teachers each and every week. And do you pray for me every week as I prepare for the children's moment? I really want it to be a conversation because they're going to get a more directed lesson in Sunday school, which we now call Children of God. Our service has been a little longer than usual, so I'll try to be sensitive to the time, but obviously one of the reasons we come to worship is to hear from the Word of God. And as I look out, it's so good to see all of you here this morning. This story of Zacchaeus, I was tempted to teach them a song that I learned in Sunday school. The words were, Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he. People are nodding the song. He climbed up in the sycamore tree for the Lord he wanted to see. And as the Savior passed that way, he looked up in the tree. And Jesus said, Zacchaeus, you come down, for I'm going to your house today. I'm going to your house today. That's the end of the song. We don't really learn anything from that song other than the facts of what happened. And I'm a firm believer that sometimes you just have to live with the text and read it out loud and try to hear from God what might be different about it. And the reason I entitled this sermon, Looking for Jesus, is because I think that's exactly what Zacchaeus was doing. He was looking for Jesus, believing somehow, based on what he had probably heard, that there was something different about this man, something different about this man who was walking to and fro and teaching and healing and making a difference. Some reason that crowds were thronging to see him. Some reason that the crowd was so thick, so dense, that this short guy had to get up in a tall tree in order to see him. I imagine that Zacchaeus was really not trying to be seen, but just trying to be on the fringes, trying to get a glimpse, and perhaps thinking, maybe if I could just see him or hear what he has to say. We don't know what ache was in Zacchaeus' heart, but we do know that he was not a popular guy. You can have all the material possessions in the world and not be happy. Did you know that?
Yes.
Have you learned that lesson yet in your life? You can have everything. He was rich. He was the chief tax collector. Who knows, the tax collection system could have been a network marketing scheme where he got a percentage cut of the people below him. We know from historians that the tax collection system was a multi-level organization. There were smaller districts and a hierarchy of people who were in charge of it. Jericho was a center of commerce, so there was a lot happening in Jericho around tax collection. The Jews did not like, as Zach reminded us, did not like the tax collectors, not only because they captured all sorts of taxes for the Roman government, but there was even a temple tax that they had to pay in order to purchase their sacrifices at the temple. The Roman government intruded upon their lives in every conceivable way. You could be walking your donkey down the street and a Roman soldier could come and take that from you and actually have you be pressed into service to help build a road or dig a ditch. Anyone who represented the Roman government was not popular because the double tax was that one of your own was helping this oppressive government take things from you. When Zacchaeus hears his name, when Jesus sees him and calls him down, Zacchaeus doesn't hesitate. There is clearly a connection that is made. You probably have memories of someone recognizing you, calling your name, calling you forward. Jesus tells the parable of the person who comes to the great banquet and sits in a place where he's not really being asked to sit and being asked to take a lower, less important seat. Jesus says it's always better to take the back seat and be called forward. And our human egos like it when people call our names and say, come forward. I want to go to your house. Most of us women would freak out if we're at this event and Jesus says, I'm coming to your house for dinner. The Jews grumbled and said, Jesus is going to eat with a sinner. But Zacchaeus is affirmed, and something within him turns. Perhaps he has now found what he is looking for, not just for Jesus, but perhaps some way to find peace with the work that he does because he earns a lot of money. But maybe work and money cannot fill the longing in his soul. Maybe the work and the money, coupled with the disdain and dislike from his community, have robbed him of everything that he needs to feel that he's making a difference in the world. Maybe that change of heart comes and he realizes that whatever resources he has can now be used for the betterment of his community. Whatever I have, he says, I will give half of it. If I've done anybody wrong, I will return fourfold. Today is Pledge Sunday, and you knew this was coming. God is not asking us for equal sacrifice, equal giving. In other words, not equal amounts. We don't all have equal amounts of resources. At some point in your life, something has happened where Jesus has seen you, where Jesus has, through the Spirit, turned your heart, made you realize what's really important. Perhaps you are struggling because you say, I don't have enough. I don't have all that I want to give. The key is that whatever you do have to give, Jesus is saying, just offer that. It doesn't take a lot to make things right in terms of giving and generosity. All it takes is that you recognize that what your giving will do, be it your money, be it your time, your talent, your treasure, there are people out there looking for Jesus. There are people out there looking for something that will affirm who they are, looking for something that will make them feel a part of something good, something that's bigger, something that will give them a sense of hope. And we never know when visitors walk through this door what they're looking for. What we have to offer them is love in the name of Jesus. We have acceptance and inclusion to offer them in the name of Jesus. Whatever they are looking for, hopefully the money that we share with one another in this church, be it the back to school fair, be it just the fact that the lights are on and we're here when someone comes looking for Jesus. You found him. The reason that we're here is so that when someone comes looking for Jesus, they won't have to get up in a tree. There will be a seat here for them. There will be a hand of fellowship. There will be bread and a cup. There will be the love and the gospel of Jesus Christ. When someone comes looking for Jesus, we want to be here. And so like Zacchaeus, whatever we have, God's not even asking for half of it. He's not asking you to make restitution 4 times. He's just simply asking that whatever you have, that you bring it to him willingly. I know that you want to be ready when someone comes looking for Jesus. And I do too. So thank you for all that you will give, for all that you will commit, for the work that you will do in the coming year, to be sure that when someone comes looking for Jesus, they can find him here. Amen.